What's happening, and welcome back to another episode of the I AFYL Podcast. Today on the podcast, I want you to buckle up, and I think we're hitting on something that I believe that is going to really help us in 2025. So, look, if you are a person looking to discover your true self, discover what you have been predestined to do, to be, and the things that you predestined to have. That's why you want to listen to this episode. It's all about the results. Like, what are the results of following the correct course, of following the right way? Like, that's what we live for. We live for results. I mean, when you think about it, today everybody gets up and it's time for work and it's time to go. No one's going to work. Most people aren't going to work simply to go to work. They're going to work for the results. What are the results? What are they? The results are, hey, the money. The results is the provision. The results is the fact that I'll be able to take care of my family, pay my bills, be able to live a good life. That is the results. That's why people go to work every single day. But when you are a person looking to discover your true self, that is not why you go to work. When you are a person looking to go to discover your true self, what you've been predestined to do, to be, the results are just kind of like a byproduct of the fact that that this is the correct way. Today, we're going to talk about the results of following the way, following the correct course, and how we can prepare for the predestination of our lives in 2025. Listen to this short message.
Life is precious, and we all have the opportunity of living it to the fullest. Unfortunately, so few of us know how to manage it all. How do we account for our opportunities? How do we account for our time? How do we account for our relationships, health, spirituality, homes, finances, influence, and careers? How do we account for the one life we have to live? I am so glad you asked. In this program, you will find answers to all of these questions and more. Welcome to the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore.
Wow, what an awesome, incredible day. Every time I hear that song, well, not the song, but the intro, it really fires me up. And I'm fired up right now because, look, how do you account for your opportunities? How do you account for your finances? How do you account for your health, your relationships? The results. It's the results that we want. All right, before we go into results, we got to get into some basics. There's some basics about results that we got to understand. I want you to think about this. I'm sure you heard of principles, right? There's principles and then there's laws. So you've heard of principles and laws. Now, there's a third one that I'm going to talk about shortly, but I'm not going to talk about that one yet. But the first thing we want to just kind of break down are principles and laws. Now, one is greater than the other. Principles are greater than laws because a principle is the guiding force, the guiding idea in a particular thing. We got to get this first before we can understand and get into results. We have to get to I'm not going to say that word, but we have to get into understanding the principles, right? The principle is the guiding force, the guiding action. So we have to understand the principles. Now, then we go to the laws. Laws are kind of like, the laws are rules. Laws are rules that are there to enforce. Rules are there to kind of like, well, if you don't understand the principle, at least if you know the law, thou shalt not kill. If you know the law, thou shalt have no other gods before me. Now, that one's a good one that I don't have time to get into. Thou shalt, what's another? Thou shalt not, bear false witness. So when we understand laws, it keeps us, at least this is what I shouldn't do, right? So we have to know and understand laws because at least until we understand what the guiding principles are, at least we know what not to do. And that's what laws are. So if let's look at a few things, right? Let's look at the body. We're going to look at the body, like an actual physical body. And a physical body, right? A physical body, there are principles that guide the body. The way that this body was created, the body needs needs things in order for it to operate correctly. And when it doesn't have those things, the body doesn't operate correctly. So they say, and I'm not a doctor or someone who studied a lot of this, but I've heard that the body is like, what is it, 80, 90, or whatever, 70, 80, 90% water, something like that. Like I may be messing that up, but our bodies are made up mostly of water. So there's the principle of water that governs our body. Now, here's the thing. What's so amazing about the principle of water is that the way that God set everything up, the Creator set everything up, He put water in almost everything. Everything that we could potentially consume, from vegetables to fruits, even to meat, and those types of things. There's water in just about there's water in everything. Even like everything that is made, typically they put water in it. So what happens is the body can find whatever water is in it and extract it out. So when we see something like even a piece of bread has water in it. And because it has water in it, the body will extract out the water. So there's a principle that our body is governed by that is water, because we are mostly water. Man, this is so good, because look, at the end of the day, what is the results that I want for my body? Man, I want to be in the best shape. I want to be in the best health. So if I want to be in the best shape, best health, then one of the principles I've got to apply is the principle of water. And the principle of water is, I need to have enough water in my body, to put enough water in my body that the cells get exactly what they need, so that the body can operate at an optimal level. And there are rules. Now, there are rules, right? There are rules that we've got to understand when it comes to our body, so that we don't mess it up. So when we look at, all right, I saw something yesterday, and they were talking about all these different types of foods that are just horrible. And most of the processed laden foods, from cookies, like a lot of the cookies, Oreo cookies, like they talk about the Oreo cookies, and the stuff that's in the Oreo cookies is just like, if we look at the rule of our body and we put an Oreo in, there's going to be an adverse reaction, right? There's things in different types of cereals, like a Fruit Loops, where they have different dyes and different things in it, that when we put it in our body, it's going to have an adverse reaction, because it's putting something in the body that actually it cannot use. It's putting a chemical in the body. And I'm going to share another understanding, so you can understand this even more. So when we think about that, it's like, man, I'm putting all these things in my body, and then I think I'm eating right, or I think I'm eating something that I can eat. But then the body's like, at some point we eat so much of it, the body's like, well, hey, look, you're just going to be fat, because the stuff that's coming in, I don't know what it is. I'm just going to store away as much as I can. And so the results that we get is going to be adverse. It's not the results we want. And then next, our body is producing things, that's hurting us. Now, we can go really deep there, but we don't have enough time to go deep on that. We will at some point, because how do you count for your life? How do you count for your body? How do you count for these things? Requires us understanding the principles and the laws. So what is the principle of the body? Water. So that means that whatever I'm eating has to have the best version of the thing that I need. So even if I'm eating meat, you got different takes on it. Some people say you shouldn't eat any meat, and you got some people say, oh, you shouldn't eat vegetables. Like seriously, there are people that say you shouldn't eat both. So at the end of the day, it's like, you have to figure out what works for your body. What type of water can your body break down? So when we look at meat, there's water in meat. But here's the thing: what else is in meat? There's minerals in meat. There's iron in meat. There's protein in meat. And it's dense. It's filled mostly with that thing. So what happens, it goes in the body, especially a high version of it. It goes in the body, and your body's like, yes, this is good. So somebody like me who's looking to build muscle, that is good for me. It's helping me to build. Now, then you have the other side of it. Oh, well, Jay, but meat is bad for you. It's going to cause this, and this. Well, maybe in somebody else's body. That's not always the case. So we have to study the principles enough that we can then apply it to our own lives. Because just because it didn't work for this person doesn't mean it won't work for the next. Same with vegetables. There's some vegetables that you probably shouldn't eat. Everybody's body may not break down the vegetables in the best way. But that's the point. We got to know at least I'm eating something that does contain the thing that I need, the nutrients, so that I get the results that I want. Which, when you think about going down the path, right? Back when I was a kid, me and my bro, we got stuck. We got stuck at the school that we went to. We had gone for a meeting and we was there, and our dad was supposed to come pick us up, and he didn't come pick us up. I can't remember how young we were, but I wasn't more than 8. I'm probably somewhere around 7. My dad didn't come pick us up, and so we thought that our dad had gone golfing. The golf course wasn't too far away, and so we walked to the golf course. And then we get to the golf course, he wasn't there. Now, at that point, we realized, man, we have to go home. So we needed to follow the correct course. And we wanted to go the shortest distance. Now, it was a few miles away. Could have been several. Back then it seemed much longer than probably what it is. But I would say it was at least 4, maybe, no, it was longer than that. It could have been around 6 or 7 miles, right? We were walking all day. So we had to walk basically from one side of the area all the way to the other side where we lived. But what was the result we were looking for? We were looking to get home, and luckily we knew the way. See, when we're talking about going the way, right? When we're talking about following the correct course to get the result, you have to know the way. And when we think about our bodies, we got to understand, well, what did the manufacturer say about our bodies that we must adhere to? Your body is the temple of what? The Holy Spirit, the Holy Ghost. Your body is the thing that was made that we dwell. So when I look at my body and I look at who I am, I says, man, when I go to think about the Creator is in me, because I am with the Creator at all times. I don't have to go outside of myself to try and look for the Creator. The Creator is with me. And so as I know that the Creator is with me, then I just go within myself to realize, okay, what direction am I supposed to be going? What direction am I supposed to be going in my health journey? And I'm gonna tell you, it's one of these things where you have to make decisions. See, our flesh wants to eat bad, to be honest. Our flesh wants to eat all the junk, especially when you've been exposed to it. Now, that's the thing. If a baby or a person had never been exposed to certain things, they wouldn't even eat it because they wouldn't have an understanding about it and they wouldn't have a taste for it. But because you've eaten so many types of things that's probably not good for us, then what happens is we're just like, you don't want to give up the Oreos. You don't want to give up the ice cream. You don't want to give up all the snacks and the cookies and all the candies. You don't want to give them up. Like you want to eat all of the stuff that's bad. But here's the thing. When we're talking about following the course or following the right way in order to get the result that we ultimately desire, then that just means that I have to make a different decision. And I've got to forget everything that I've known. It says in, what is it, Philippians 3. It says, forget the past and press toward the mark, press toward the prize, the high calling for which you've been called. So when we're talking about our bodies, it's like, well, I've got to forget everything that I've eaten. I've got to forget all the stuff that I've done as a result, as it relates to my body. And I have to then say, wait, what do I need to actually do? You have to go within yourself. See, a lot of times we want to go outside of ourselves. We want to go to a personal trainer. We want to go to, a nutrition. No. All you got to do is go within yourself. What should I eat? And when you look at your plate, you should say, that's probably not going to do it. The mac and cheese is probably not going to do it. Man, I can probably eat it some every now and then, but I can't eat a lot of it. The fried chicken's it's probably not going to get me there, right? All of the sweets is probably not going to get me there. All of the extra carbohydrates is not going to get us there. We have discovered that carbohydrates, a diet high in carbohydrates leads to more fat storage because your body won't burn it off. It'll just keep it. So it's like, man, so what do I need to do? It's like, you got to go within yourself. This is the faith fit framework. We got to go within yourself. When you become inspired, it's to grow from within. You got to go inside to discover where the solution to the problem lies. And the problem is solved right from the inside. So look at my plate and it says, oh, I probably shouldn't do that. Probably shouldn't eat that. I've been doing this every day. Like lately, I go in the store, I'm looking at stuff, I'm scared. I'm like, oh, let me read. I can't buy that no more. Oh my God, oh, that's not organic. I got to at least get the organic stuff. And if I don't get the organic, it's like, how is that? How much more chemicals is on that? Like literally, I'm reading every label. I'm just like, so what is the food system? The food system is all marketing. Here's the thing about marketing. Marketing is a principle. Remember at the beginning, we talked about principles and laws. Marketing is not a law. It's not a law of marketing. It's the principle of marketing. And in the principle of marketing, you always lead with the results. You lead with the results. You lead with the desire that people actually want. And by leading with the desire, all of the stuff that they would have to deal with, you don't talk about that stuff. Like if you listen to a commercial, if you listen to a pharmaceutical commercial when they're promoting a drug, now, luckily, they do have to give a disclaimer real fast at the end after they have given you the results. And that's all you care about are the results. That's all I care about. So the principle of marketing is to lead with the results. But then when we talk about, the laws is, hey man, if you do this, it's not going to be good. Thou shalt have no other gods before you. It's not going to be good if you go against God. Thou shalt make no graven image. It's not going to be good if you make a graven image. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. That's not going to be good if we're doing that. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not commit adultery. It's not going to be good if we do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, honor your mother and your father. Oh my goodness. Remember that every day there's a time. Remember, they say remember the Sabbath, right? To keep it holy. But I'm going to say it like this. Remember that every week you need to sit your butt down and remember the heck that the Creator made you. The Creator made you, and you need to think about, wait a second, why am I here? See, this is where I believe this the religious people have gotten it wrong. They've gotten it wrong. Remember the Creator so that you can go back and say, wait, why did the Creator bring me here? What am I here for? And I would tell you right now, I'm going to church many, many years. I'm 53 years old, and I've been a member of a church for 53 years. And what I discovered is that they don't come there to say, remember what the Creator has done for us. And then why the heck are we here? Why the heck did we meet? What are we supposed to do? No one does that. So the laws are there just to give us an indication of just stay away from that. Or it may be an indication of something you should do as opposed to not doing it. So the results of falling away is simple, right? It's the principles. when we understand the principle, which is what is guiding the result, you want a great body, there's a principle. You want a great bank account, there's a principle. Now, look, I'm going to talk briefly on this one because I think this is where most people are every single day. You're looking for the best bank account possible, and yet we're using the wrong principles. Come on, man. You're looking for the best bank account possible, but yet we're using the wrong principles. Now, there is a principle of work. Yes, everyone must work. You don't get a free ride into riches. No, that's not how it works. But here's the thing. Then it's what is the principle that I need to be tapping into in order to gain the riches? Is it the principle of selling all my time for money? Getting a paycheck? No, that may be something that you have to do for a little while, but it's the principle of understanding, well, where does money come from? Let's understand that. Where does money come from? I don't know. Where does it come from? The bank? No, it doesn't come from the bank. Where does it come from? Money is an idea. So money is a principle all in and of itself. It's an idea. And the one who can create a good idea that has a result embedded into it that people actually want to exchange their resource for, then all of a sudden you see your bank account going up. There's other ways to get money. But the essence, the principle is all about the idea embedded into money and the results that idea will give. What's the results of toilet paper? I know the results in toilet paper, like the results in toilet paper. What's the results of going to buy some food at the grocery store? Oh, you know the result. It's like, hey, I'm going to have food. I'm going to be nourished. Like, what is the results? Even going to McDonald's. Oh, man, I'm going to get some food fast. It may not be the best food, but I'm going to get it fast. And it's going to make my taste buds are going to like it, even though it's not good for me. Then what are the results that I'm looking for? Like, then you say to yourself, okay, wait, Jay, you're telling me that all I have to do is exchange with someone else a result, and they'll pay me for the result. Yes, it's it. It could be small. It could just be like toilet paper. It could just be like, something very small. It could be selling these pens. What is the results? It's going to write. It may have an inscription on it. It could be something for their businesses. What's the result of my phone? The result of this phone is, man, I can do so many things with this phone. Man, that is a cool result. What is the result of like this particular book? I've got The Spirit of Leadership by Dr. Miles Monroe, my book, on my desk. I actually gave my original copy to my son. I wanted a new copy for myself to read because I like to have these near me. The result of this is I'm understanding the spirit of leadership, and because that's what I would like. And so I'm okay with spending $20 on a book. I'm exchanging the value. So because we've been taught, look, if you just go get a job, then that's how you're going to take care of your family. That's going to barely do it. Just about everybody who has a job is saying to themselves, man, I need more. I need more because I like to do more, because the creator of this universe has put within all of us the desire to do and to have more, really to have more, not even just to do, because a lot of times you don't want to do anything more. But here's the thing. If it's worth it for us, then it's like, okay, it's worth it to go after it. That's why you got to discover your true self, because when you discover your true self, you discover exactly who you are on this planet. You discover that and says, oh, wow. And then I have something embedded in me that other people would want, and they would want to pay me for it. Even if it's me creating a product, it could be a service. Products are better. Products are better. I've done service related stuff all my life, and I'm moving into products. How to move into products. I've written some books. I got three books: Next Level Faith, Beyond Tax Strategy, and Living Life on the Next Level. Look, Living Life on the Next Level, we're gonna have a coaching program all around that book. Now, Beyond Tax Strategy, that's a whole business in and of itself, helping people with tax strategy, but Beyond Tax Strategy is deeper than tax strategy. That's a whole new program that hasn't even been fully developed yet. Next Level Faith is kind of like, that's the beginning. That's the beginning of change. And all of these things, these are products that will be exchanged, that they're being exchanged right now in the marketplace, but we're going to exchange them at a much higher level and more often. So what are the results of following the way? You know, in the scripture, Yeshua says this. He says, I am the truth. I am the way. So what is that saying? It's saying that I need to follow the correct way. Yeshua, the Christ, he set an example for each of us to see that when you come to this planet, when you come into this existence, you came here with a purpose. You came here with an idea. You came here with an assignment. But here's the challenge. We've got to remember what we actually know about who we are. Once we remember, then we must develop. But before we can develop, this is what has to happen. Your motives have to change. Become motivated. You're motivated. The motives are changing. You have to change your motives change your motives, change how you've been living and doing at that moment. Then you're inspired. You become inspired because now I'm living from within the remembrance of who I am. And I'm only going to follow the direction of who I am on the inside, not everything that's happening on the outside. Action. We're here to take action on the motivation. We're here to take action on the guiding force that's within me, that in spirit. We're here for that. And you become what I call faith fit. You're faith fit. It's like faith is the expectation that you know that you have been sent here for something. And I'm preparing myself for that. That is what fitness is all about. And I'm going to tell you, 2025, we are going to help hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people to literally learn this framework for themselves so that they can develop themselves in a way they've never been developed, become the person that they never or didn't know they could be. So they can change their lives from the inside and on the outside, all the stuff. The results of following the way is discovering why you've been sent here so that you can live and do and have what it is that you've been sent here to do, to be, to do, and have. So guys, I want to thank you for joining me for another episode of the Account for Life podcast. James One Healthy Accountant, helping you to account for your life. God bless you, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.
This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.